Hi VC, Merely Chris here. Been away for a couple of weeks because I had a bout of really bad sinusitis, and then that's been followed up by an excruciating case of shingles, which, you know, it's a sign of old age, I suppose. To make matters worse, it's kind of on my neck and on my scalp at the back here, which has made sleep next to impossible. Anyway, that's enough of me. This is a response video to Andrew from Tales from the Crate. To his 500 subs, and congratulations, mate. Andrew wanted us to do cover versions. I could spend hours doing cover versions. I'm very fond of a cover version, but I'm going to try and keep it down to a limit. And I'm also going to try something slightly different, and I got some music playing in the background here, and I'll try and play each of the tracks as and when they kind of land, but we'll see how that goes, which means there'll be quite a bit of editing on here as well, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, right. Right, hopefully this goes well. First album up, which is playing in the background, is Bryan Ferry, These Foolish Things. This originally came out in 1973, but this is a 1977 repress on Polydor, and it's Bryan Ferry's covers album. Every single track on here is cover, and it's great. He puts his spin on everything. He's got that sort of, I mean, there are a number of members of Roxy Music playing on here, so Phil Manzanera even plays on one of the tracks. Paul Thompson, drummer, is on here. The particular track I've picked is Hard Rains Are Gonna Fall, which is Bob Dylan, which I believe first appeared on the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan. I was never a huge Bob Dylan fan. I think it was his vocals. Like, in recent years, I've kind of become more appreciative of it, but couldn't get it initially. But I loved this version. I just imagine Roxy Music playing on Bob Dylan, and that's what you've got. It's an excellent, it's a good album. This, I mean, a lot of people don't like it, but I think it's because they take it a little too seriously. But show the back there. Anyway, that's the some great stuff on there. Particular favourites on here. It's My Party, which Barbara Gaskin and Dave Stewart had a hit with in the 80s. I can't remember, was it Leslie Gore originally had a hit with it? It's quite sort of menacing in a way on this one, but it's a great album. So there you go, that's the first one, and hopefully I've been playing this loud enough for you to be able to hear it, but not so loud that it drowns out my dulcet tones. Okay, next album coming up. Okay, VC, now up to second choice, and this is Judas Priest. Now, I mean, Judas Priest were great at doing cover versions, taking songs that were kind of out of the sort of normal comfort zone and rocking them up a bit. I mean, their version of Diamonds and Rust's a great song. Green Manalishi by Fleetwood Mac, done brilliantly, but the one I've chosen is off Stained Class. This came out in 1978, and it's a cover of Spooky Tooth's Better By You, Better Than Me. This particular cover is rather notorious in that in 1990, I think it was part of a lawsuit against the band and record company for having backward lyrics that encouraged two teenagers in America to commit suicide after hearing the words "do it, do it" played backwards on this album. Total bollocks, of course, but there you go. I think it's a great version. I mean, the Spooky Tooth version is great. Spooky 2 is a brilliant album, but I really, really enjoyed this version. This is Back on Black reissue. My brother had the album originally when we were kids. I love it. It's probably my favourite Priest album. And I love the way, like I say, they can take a song that, you know, you wouldn't necessarily think of as being a heavy metal song and just putting their own stamp on it. Great driving riff. Halford's superb on it. All-round cracking cover tune. And perhaps not the most obvious one to pick from Priest. So there you go. Better By You, Better Than Me. I do believe I just said better than you, so it's Better By You, Better Than Me. As I say, sleep's not been easy recently, so apologies. Right, album number 3. This is Under the Covers Volume 3 by Matthew Sweet and Susanna Hoffs. As the title suggests, they've done 3 volumes of covers. They start off with the 1960s with Volume 1, Volume 2 was the 1970s, Volume 3 covers the 1980s. A particular track I think they do really well is this one, which is Girls Talk. Got into the charts in the UK and possibly the States, I think, when it was recorded by Dave Edmunds. But it was originally written by Elvis Costello, and he did record it. Don't think it appeared on any album, but it was certainly the B-side to Accidents Will Happen. Brilliant, brilliant song. Susanna Hoffs has just got one of those voices that does things to me. I mean, obviously, probably best known for her work with the Bangles in the 90s, but brilliant. Was it the 90s or was it the 80s? I lose track of time at my age. But I love these albums. This is out of the box set I've shown already, which is completely under the covers, which has all 3 volumes plus bonus tracks that didn't appear on the originals. Lost it. And it's great, like I say, I love a cover version. I mean, it's in a sleeve, so got R.E.M., Dave Edmunds, the DBs, Pretenders, Tom Petty, The Beat, Kirsty MacColl, the Bongos, the Go-Go's. And on the second disc on this one, we've got the Smiths, Roxy Music, XTC, Echo and the Bunnymen, Lindsey Buckingham, The Clash, Marshall Crenshaw, and Prince. And this particular volume comes in this bubblegum pink. They don't all work. Some of the covers are a little bit ropey, but when it does work like this one, I think it's absolutely magical. It's not too different from the original, but Susanna Hoffs' voice just takes it off to that angle where it just gives it something else. So there you go, that was my number 3. Girls Talk by Matthew Sweet and Susanna Hoffs. Okay, for number 4, we're going to chill it down a little bit. A bit of classical music, because what could be better than a classical cover? And I don't mean it's one of these such and such orchestra plays the greatest hits of whoever. This is actually Symphony No. 1, Low by Philip Glass. And what Philip Glass did was take 3 instrumental tracks that had been written by David Bowie and Brian Eno for the album Low, and use the themes that came out in those tracks to write pieces of classical music. And it's just beautiful. You certainly get the feel of the original songs in the background. I mean, it's very, very chilled. I mean, Philip Glass is a minimalist composer. It's beautifully relaxing stuff. But in the background is Subterraneans, which I think was I'm going to say first track side 2, or last track side 2 of Low. Memory gone. But you can pick up the tunes from the Bowie and Eno originals, and Philip Glass has just used that to write his own music. So it's very much a piece of work by Philip Glass inspired by those tracks. It's brilliant. I mean, any sort of Bowie fan should pick this up. Came with a inner sleeve. I mean, it was composed in 92 and got a first release on vinyl in 93. This is a music on vinyl repress from around about 2014, I think. And it's absolutely gorgeous. It's just one of those bits of music that takes you to a much calmer place. So there you go. That's my number 4. Yeah, number 4, Philip Glass. This is Subterraneans from Symphony No. 1, Low. Music inspired by David Bowie and Brian Eno. How they say. Last vinyl entry for this particular contest. And this is a rather beautiful a cappella cover of Neil Young's After the Gold Rush. And this is by a sort of local band from Gateshead, which is just over the water from Newcastle. It's 3-piece, husband and wife team and a guitarist. But they did a cappella cover version of this, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I think it originally came out in 1974. This is off the self-titled album, which I think came out in the early 80s, 82 I think. But it's absolutely beautiful. My dad bought this single when it came out originally. I think it got in the top 20, I think, in the UK. Absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous song anyway. I mean, I love Neil Young's version, but this is the first version I heard of the song, and as such holds a soft spot for me. So there you go. Final vinyl entry, Prelude, After the Gold Rush. I'll leave you with a little bit. Okay, VC. Last one. CD this time. And this is from It's going to be a bit much here. The Catherine Williams album, Relations, and it's her cover of Python Lee Jackson's In a Broken Dream. Absolutely brilliant. One of my favourite covers of all time. Catherine is local to Newcastle. I mean, she was born in Liverpool, but has lived here for a lot of years. She was nominated for the Mercury Prize for, I think, a second album in the year 2000. Didn't win, but brilliant singer-songwriter. I've seen her live several times, and she's great. This is an album full of cover versions. So you've got Neil Young, Big Star, Leonard Cohen, Nirvana, Velvet Underground, you know, a whole gamut of different things. Tim Harden. She's got a beautiful, beautiful voice, and works really, really well with this particular song, in my opinion, and just gives it that sort of haunting sort of fragility, which I think works really well with the lyrics. I mean, I love Rod Stewart's vocals on the original version, but again, this is just kind of works really well. Album came out in 2004, and you can pick it up relatively cheaply most places, and I heartily recommend doing so. So there you go. I'm going to leave it at that. Six entries into the contest. I could do a whole lot more, but perhaps save them for other videos. Just again, congratulations on the 500 subs, Andrew. I mean, I know you're way past 600 now, and it'll not be long before you're having your 1000th contest. Really enjoy listening to you talk about music. You're really passionate about it. You like a wide selection of different stuff, and you know that's what I like to see on the VC. I like to pick up stuff that I'm not necessarily aware of. So anyone who's not subscribed to Andrew but is subscribed to me, and I can't imagine there's many, if any, I'll put a link down in the bottom here. But there you go. All the best now.